guys? Welcome. It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So first of all, if you are new here, please join us on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. Also, onebigimpact.com. And check us out on Instagram at One Big Impact. If you're looking for a personal trainer and you are in the Arizona area, I'm the guy. I can totally do that for you. But beyond that, this is day one, okay, of the 30-day holiday challenge. So welcome, congratulations for getting signed up, and let's talk about something interesting. So today's video is actually going to be nutrient timing, and a lot of people don't focus enough on this, and it goes beyond eating certain times of the day. It goes beyond a lot of things, but we are going to talk a lot about them, and we'll probably have about 10 things that we're going to cover. First of which is going to be, number one is prep. And I am a prep connoisseur, meaning I am a prep pusher. I am going to always tell you to prep your meals, plan your meals, because without prepping your meals, how is it even possible that you can time your meals properly to be able to follow basic nutrient timing? Now, the more I get into bodybuilding, the more I get into fitness, exercise, health, nutrition, and things like that, I have understood the importance of timing your nutrients. But the absolute first thing is prep your meals, because without those, how can you even do anything? Let's get started, guys. So when we talk about nutrient timing, one of the most important things that a lot of people are going to ask or are curious about is the protein. Do I need protein? Do I need to get 500 different types of protein, and I need to get these massive amounts of protein? If you want to, we could discuss how much protein you need in a later video. Okay, so if you are on Atkins or something like that, you're going to say, I need about 3 servings of 6 to 8 ounces of protein per day. That's it. It's pretty cut, clean, and dry. Now, if you're doing bodybuilding or strength training, or you're trying to build muscle or something like that, it's going to be a little bit different. Now, it's going to be about, a general rule of thumb is about 1 pound per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 250 pounds, you're going to have 250 grams of protein. And some people don't need to go that high. Some people need to go higher. It really depends on what you feel is the best information and how your body responds. Now, that being said, I recommend some nutrient timing with protein. Okay, so when you wake up, you've been fasting for 8 hours. So if you're trying to build muscle, it's important that you go ahead and get you a little protein shake or wake me up, maybe some eggs or something like that. I use, when I'm bulking, when I'm building muscle, I use one of these, and I just throw in 1 scoop, which is about 20 to 30 grams of protein, and I go ahead and shake that up. And that's literally within 5 minutes of waking up, because I haven't had protein all night. In addition to that, every few hours, you're going to need protein. Now, specifically, 20 to 30 grams of protein every 3 to 4 hours. If you're an endomorph, you have a big body style like me, you could probably go a little bit longer, maybe towards the 4 hours. If you're super tiny and you're trying to build muscle, or you're an ectomorph, you're a hard gainer or something like that, it could be really beneficial to probably shoot for like 2 or 3 hour mark, because your body burns through things so extremely fast. Mine, not so much. I look at a McDonald's and gain 20 pounds. Not that I'm shopping at McDonald's. But the other 2 times that I think it's important, so you're going to have it when you wake up, but you're also going to have some type of protein, and if you're building muscle, a casein protein, CASEIN, whey protein casein, can be actually really good, because it's a very slow digesting. The whey protein isolate is like, boom, right after a workout, it's really good to have it. And also when you wake up, but when you're going to bed, you would burn through it too fast. But the whey protein casein is completely different, and that'll actually last you through that fasted state, or state of which you are sleeping. Now, in addition to that, I would never probably go over like 30, 40 grams of protein. I wouldn't worry about it too much. So just to recap on the protein, to be completely clear, you have protein when you wake up, protein every 3 or 4 hours, or 2 to 3 hours if you're small, as well as protein directly after you wake up, and protein before you go to bed. I hope that's clear. Now that's specifically for somebody that's trying to build muscle. If you are following some type of Atkins or low carb or keto or something like that, try to get your nutrients in maybe when you wake up, before you go to bed, and after you lift. Okay? Okay, so number 3 is actually slightly confusing, and it's one that we struggle with. So first of all, I will say I lost a lot of weight manipulating carbohydrates and things like that. So as you guys know, a lot of my followers know that I followed Atkins and stuff like that, but I have learned a lot more about carbohydrates, and I have realized that they're not the enemy, but you just have to manipulate them in the proper way. Now that being said, I'm not saying switch what you're doing or anything like that necessarily. We could talk about that if you're wanting to switch what you're doing, whatever. But carbohydrates is number 3. Carbohydrates is a really important thing that you do understand, because it's not a game, and it's actually probably how a lot of us gain way too much weight. But if you're incorporating strength training, it can actually be quite beneficial if you use it properly. So carbs. This is when you are going to use them. Before you lift, after you lift. They equal energy food. A lot of you guys understand, if you followed a lot of my Atkins videos, I tell you all the time, if you're eating a bowl of pasta, you had better be running a marathon or lifting or something like that. And I've always said that because it's really important. It is your body's preferred fuel source. If you eat carbs, it's going to use that first as energy, okay? But if you eat carbs all the time and you're not expelling a lot of energy, unfortunately, you're going to get overweight really fast. Now, 60 to 90 minutes before you train, you should eat slow carbohydrates, meaning complex carbs. Examples of those are like potatoes, pasta, brown rice, bananas, fruit, something like that. Not right before you lift, not 10 seconds before you go in the gym. All the blood is going to rush to your stomach to eat, to aid in digestion. Don't eat right before you lift. I mean, yes, eat right before you lift if that was the only option, but you will get a better workout if it's 60 to 90 minutes away from your lift, because then the blood is like, okay, we've begun digestion and everything like that, and you can send the blood to the muscles that you're working rather than the stomach, aiding in digestion. Now, the next part is going to be 30-minute window. You have a 30-minute window after you train to eat simple carbohydrates. Don't panic. Simple carbohydrates are things like dextrose, glucose. An example of that would be gummy bears, Haribo brand. When you flip over a package, and I'm not saying eat a ton of them, an example is going to be about 30 gummy bears, Haribo brand. If you flip it over, on the back it says glucose, glucose syrup, dextrose as a first number 1 ingredient. You don't want to just say, you know what, I'm eating whatever today, it's going to be a donut, or it's going to be this, or it's going to be that. Use the information that I give you as an actual basis for what you're going to be incorporating in your strength training program. Don't just say, this is my idea, I eat like crap. It is 30 gummy bears, it's not that much. It actually, what it does is your muscles are being broken down and the glycogen is being released and expelled, and you are completely depleted. So by doing that, you actually shove nutrients and glycogen and sugar back into it. Another thing is like a regular Gatorade or something like that. All the sugars and stuff like that go straight into the muscle, and it kind of stops the process. If you consume simple sugars anytime throughout the day, other than that time when you're actually using them to refill, it's going to get stored as fat, so don't do that. The next thing is 1 to 2 hours, eat most of your daily carbohydrates, and they must be slow carbs again. So you've eaten before your exercise, you've eaten after you exercise, your simple carbs. Now within an hour or two, you need to eat a whole balanced meal, some protein, some carbs, not fat, possibly some veggies, but make sure you're getting I'd say about 60 to 70% of your carbohydrates need to be coming in that 1 to 2 hour bracket. Now those need to be slow carbs. They need to be things like rice, sweet potatoes, etc. No more simple carbs, and I would suggest probably not too many carbs after that point, because your body is soaking everything up before and after exercise, But after that point, there's really no reason to do it, especially before bed, because you're sleeping. There's no reason for you to have them. Too many of you guys are neglecting. A lot of the times I hear people say, I can't go to the bathroom, I'm constipated, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm bloated, blah, blah, blah. Well, here's your problem. Veggies. Everybody's like, yeah, hey, veggies. Okay, well, how much are you eating? You probably need to eat more. Or, if you're an overeater, maybe eat a little bit less. Now, some vegetables will cause you disruption in your stomach and stuff. I know personally, zucchini does it to me. Uncooked broccoli does it to me. Different vegetables will work differently with your body. Okay, so be careful, be aware. Have some Pepto-Bismol on the hand or whatever to battle the gas. But overall, I will say uncooked vegetables will cause you more bowel problems or upset stomachs than cooked vegetables, because our body has to break down that acid doing the boiling process within your stomach. So therefore, it's going to cause some irritation. So first of all, when do I have vegetables? Vegetables. As a filler, pretty much if you're not consuming protein or anything else, I would say it's kind of a filler. Also, after your workout, when you're having that big meal with the carbohydrates, add in some vegetables and stuff like that. Because if you're eating big to gain muscle, or you're just eating more times throughout the day, it's really important that, because you're probably consuming more food than you normally would, it's important that you are consuming fibrous vegetables to be able to clear out your system and go to the potty. Then in addition to that, when can I have them? Pretty much whenever you want, okay? I know you probably don't crave salads. Somebody's going to say I crave salads in the description below. I guarantee it, right? Because I said that. When you're hungry, if you're hungry or you're having cravings, go ahead and eat a side salad. It's like 2-3 carbs. It's not going to kill you, okay? It's perfectly fine. Don't quote me on that. E. coli. When you are irregular, incorporate some more fibrous vegetables. Maybe go for some broccoli or something like that. Look for vegetables that will help you out. In the morning when you wake up, to help you get regular, you've had your coffee, have some vegetables with breakfast. That's perfectly fine. In the night, okay, maybe you're not having those carbohydrates, or you're just hungry because the day has passed on, go ahead and have them there. Taste the rainbow. Don't eat the same carbohydrates or the same vegetables for 6 months. Switch it up a little bit. There's macronutrients and micronutrients in all different types of vegetables. They say like purple vegetables, yellow vegetables, orange vegetables. They all do something different for your body, and it's good to switch it up. So that is veggies. And just like your mom and dad, I'm going to say eat your damn vegetables. Next and finally is, actually we got one more thing at the end. Fat. Okay? See how I made it all chubby? Chubby little fat? Yeah, chubby little fat. You like that, don't you, little chubcakes? No. Okay, so from the 1980s or 70s, even in the late 70s into the 80s, into pretty much my whole childhood, fat was fat. Fat is the same thing as fat on our bodies, and that is obviously proved false. But if any of you guys that are the baby boomers or around that age, 40s, 50s, 60s, or above, all of you still believe that fat is dangerous. I see people shopping all the time for low-fat products. Now, here's where it's important to understand. Is fat bad? Yes, but not in the way you think. Too much of anything is bad. Now, here's the important thing. Obviously, you have trans fats, you have healthy fats, you have saturated fats, you have monounsaturated fats, all that crap that none of us, including myself, don't really freaking care to understand. I'm just being honest. But the thing is, carbs and protein have 4 calories per gram. Fat, gram, write it all out, Johnny. Fat is 9. 9 calories per gram, so double plus some. Now here's the important thing for you guys that are following Atkins or keto or something like that. Most of you are probably not focusing on getting enough fat. I'm not saying go crazy. I'm saying is it bad? Yes, but not in the way you think. Meaning, what that means is if you are eating healthy fats such as olive oil, coconut oil, avocados, those things are good for you. Believe it or not, some people really overdo it. If you take the olive oil and you just spill it into your stuff, cool. But each tablespoon of that is going to be like 140 calories. It is very easy as you are cooking things. The chicken dries out, so you pour more olive oil. I was famous for this because it tastes good. I didn't think about the caloric density of it. Okay, you could easily add 1,000 calories on a 10-ounce piece of chicken on not even knowing, because when it dries up, half of it is probably evaporating. The other half, the 75 calories per tablespoon, half of the 150 or whatever that math comes out to, 70, is getting soaked up into the chicken. So you got a nice fat olive oil, great tasting piece of chicken that is 1,000 calories because it's already 300 by itself or 400 by itself. Add another 5 or 6. So that one meal just went from 300 to 1,000. So too much is bad. Now, in the same sense, if you're trying to lose fat, you're probably going to need a little bit more fat inside your body. Also, for hormone regulations and things like that, especially the women, you need fats. You need things like omega-3s. You need coconut oil, olive oil, avocados. You need a variation. Don't stick with just one thing and go with it all the time. But most importantly about fats, as far as nutrient timing, the only time I wouldn't incorporate fats is directly after your workout. Directly after your workout, you want to be sucking those carbohydrates in. You want to be sucking in that protein and the nutrients that I tell you to versus worrying about too much of the fat. That's for other times throughout the day. Now, how often do I need fat? I would say 3 or 4 times a day, maybe even 5 times a day. It's not going to hurt you. Things like ranch dressing you can incorporate, things like coconut oil, olive oil, even like Kerrygold butter and things like that. Don't go overboard. Always, always, always measure what you are putting in your foods, because fat is not bad, but it does add up very fast, and it's a very small amount. You read that? Maybe you can't read it. Come here. Let's go read it. Water and love. You guys, it's really important that you get your nutrients in each and every single day. But one of the most important things that people neglect on a daily basis is really going to be water. I don't say this. I say this because I was the anti-water Nazi of pretty much all times. My ex-wife was a huge proponent on drinking water. I couldn't stand it. I drank soda and Monster 24/7. I literally feel 10 years younger after drinking a lot of water. I will say be careful not to deplete all of your resources or all of your micronutrients and magnesium, potassium, and stuff like that. I'd say make sure you are adding maybe a little bit of salt to water, or salt throughout the day, throughout your meals, because the more water you drink, you tend to flush out your system and stuff like that. I personally shoot for about 1 gallon a day. If you shoot for 1 gallon a day and you get 3/4 of a gallon, it's perfectly fine. If you're really small, maybe you can't hit that target, but hit as much as you can. I would say if you're doing flavored waters or anything else besides, keep it to an absolute minimum. I will be completely honest, nothing really replaces water. I get a lot of people that say, well, I want to do this energy drink. Oh, I want to do this energy drink. Now you got those Bang energy drinks. You've got the Cruelé drinks. You've got Wally World's got their own brand and stuff like that. Please keep those to a minimum. And just because if it's flavored, cool. I understand that. I know you're going for it or whatever. But if you're going to do that, do it yourself, because you really don't know what the process is that they're doing. And I'm not saying it's bad or necessarily, but get you 1 gallon of water, maybe throw some branched chain amino acids in there or something. So at least you know what's going into your water. You're not drinking like carbonated drinks and stuff like that. That being said, thank you so much for joining the One Big Impact 30-Day Challenge. Congratulations to everybody to take the next step. This is day 1. If you are new here, like I said, please join us on Facebook. Our group is called Healthy Living for a Healthy Life. We have an amazing family there. Please, if you're selling stuff, we're not buying. If you're also a bully, we're not accepting you. And if you don't answer the questions, we're probably not going to let you in. We're very picky. We love our family, and we are looking for brighter things in the near future. Now, that being said, there's going to be some links in the description below. Like I said, I will put a link to these t-shirts, hashtag drink your damn water, like we just talked about. Also, a reusable water jug that has different times of the day that it reminds you of. I will put a gallon one down there, and then also a smaller one for those of you that don't have the room or need to carry something small like that. Also, the Tupperware I spoke of, the protein shakers, and a few other things. You guys, when you guys use my links for Amazon, it really helps me immensely. So please do so. Also, if you are new here, it doesn't take but a second to go ahead and click that subscribe button and the notifications. Thank you so much for all of your support. Be strong with any excuses, and remember to spread love, not hate. Oh, and by the way, why I said love is because we always project things onto others. Save some love for yourself, please. Treat others with respect and love, but also treat yourself with the same respect and love. A lot of us get out of shape, or we've been through some things in life that have kind of brought us down mentally or emotionally or physically, and we tend to be a little bit too hard on ourselves. Anything that you give love, like plants for instance, if you water a plant, you give it nutrients and things like that, and you love it and talk to it and sing it, it grows really good. So do that to yourself. Do nice things for yourself. Create self-love. You know, get your nails done, get your hair did, you know, go get a massage, go relax, you know, go to the movies, spend family time. Do things that nourish your soul. As long as they're not hurting others, it's helping you. Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much. Peace.